Well, it's that time of the year again, where everybody is filled with joy and happiness. It's disgusting. I might... Oh, God, who's knocking on my door at this hour? What do you want?
Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays from the Break Room Podcast. Say Merry Christmas, Trey.
Oh, ho, ho. Merry Christmas to one and all.
And Happy Holidays.
And Happy Holidays.
Yeah, there it is. All right, welcome to the holiday episode of the Break Room Podcast. The first holiday episode, because I have a feeling we're going to do a lot, more than one.
Well, we've covered
So-
Halloween, we've covered Thanksgiving, and now we got Christmas.
You say Thanksgiving, but, did we really do a Thanksgiving episode? It was more like a 10-minute, conversation. But, Thanksgiving's not really, a big holiday like Christmas and Hanukkah.
No,
and
Thanksgiving is
Boxing
like
Day.
has the same energy. What?
Boxing Day.
Thanksgiving has the same energy as 4th of July. I mean,
Hold on, what do you mean by that?
No, I like 4th of July. I'm saying that it's not one of those. It's okay. It's a big holiday for the United States, but it has the same energy as Thanksgiving, where it's not as big as Christmas. Christmas is a big deal.
Yeah, Christmas is like the biggest day of the year. Next to
Damn.
Black Friday and
Is
Tax
this-
Day.
You could. I remember the memes. You could almost say this is the Christmas without Grimace.
Christmas without Grimace.
Yeah, didn't he die or something? Wasn't there a meme about that?
On what, Christmas?
No, he died. After the Grim, Happy Birthday Grim, and then shortly after the meme
He
died,
didn't
he
die.
died. I know, but the meme was that he died, and then people were making the memes of the Grimace burger, and it was a purple fuzzy sandwich.
Don't you remember there was a Hold on, my phone just went off. I forgot to silence it. I'm so sorry. Don't you remember the tweet from McDonald's? And it was of Grimace. He was like, "Thank you so much for all the love. I love you guys. Goodbye."
Yeah, I remember.
That's awesome. So welcome to the Christmas episode. It's gonna be all about Christmas, and unlike the last episode where I said it was gonna be short and it was over an hour, we're gonna make this one a little shorter, just so you know it's the holiday season. And we just want to give you a little snack, a little sit down by the campfire. You got your Yule log going, your Christmas music playing.
You got chestnuts.
You're leaving.
Chestnuts roasting
Roasting.
over an open fire.
Yeah, you got your milk and cookies set out for the fat old man.
Not a creature was stirring through the house.
Not even a fucking mouse. And we're gonna sit down and we're gonna tell you some Christmas stories.
You're talking like Morty right now.
Before we tell Christmas stories, Trey, you wanted to rant about your job. Now, before you rant about your job, first off, I have two stipulations. One, it cannot go for 30 minutes.
It's not going to go for 30 minutes. I will easily get 200 words. Okay, definitely more than 200 words out within 2 minutes.
Okay. Two,
All right.
you have to start with the deer story.
With the deer story.
Since it's Christmas.
Now, I mean that's true. It was no reindeer for all the children listening.
Could have been.
It was. Yeah, that's messed up. They killed Rudolph.
Could have been Blitzen in that fucking garbage.
Vixen.
Vixen?
There was
I said Blitzen.
Little Vixen in that garbage. No. So, no, this isn't part of the rant. This is its own separate story. So last Friday, and so a week ago, well, when you guys hear this episode, so a week ago, it was Friday afternoon. I was just getting. It's usually my Fridays are cut in half because I don't know the Friday route and no one else does a lot. So they either know the front half or the back half. I've been doing the front half, and tomorrow I'll be doing the back half of the route. So that's why my day is cut in half. Anyways, I was doing the front half last week, and I was about to be done. I get to this one house out in the middle of BFE. If you guys don't know what BFE stands for, it stands for Bumfuck Egypt, which is also AKA middle of nowhere. I get to this house on this hill out in BFE. I open up there. I'm like, oh, I'm almost done. I open up the garbage can. I get a big surprise from a deer head just sitting there. Just its head. just one single deer head with some garbage bags on top or underneath it. So I open it up and I literally open it up and I look at it and I go, bruh. And, first I look at it, I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. And I'm like, is the can going to be heavy? It wasn't heavy. It was it was pretty par for coarse. So I just shut the lid, and rather than like trying to carry, because I usually have the lid open and I carry it over to the back and then dump it. But no, I kept the lid closed, walked over to the truck, then opened the lid as I'm dumping it, just so I don't have to even like think about touching, like having the deer head hit my hand or something. I have gloves on, but I just don't want that to touch my gloves, because it's a decapitated deer head. So I dump it in there. The antlers were off of it, of course. I'm assuming the guy who hunted it kept the antlers and then kept the meat and field dressed the carcass. I don't know where the carcass was, but it might have been in the garbage can, but it wasn't heavy enough, it seemed. Recently I've been getting a lot of deer carcasses and stuff that I've been dumping. And
is that legal?
Every time I do it, I think to myself, and I'll make the same joke every time. I go like, huh, this ain't trash.
No, because like when I used to go hunting, you field dress it, you take all the meat off of it, and then what we used to do was we just put it out in the field and let the coyotes eat it.
Yesterday I was at the landfill dumping, and it felt like I was in a horror movie, a horror movie with a bunch of gore, like I was in the Texas Chainsaw movies or something, because I looked to my left as I'm dumping the truck, and a truck must have been there that had nothing but carcasses, because all I saw were rib cages, bones, blood. And I'm like, why is this stuff dumped at the landfill? Like, come on.
It might have been from a processing plant.
That's what I was thinking originally, because Clinton's got a few of them. Well, I just doxed myself, but we got a few of those. But yeah, no, they might have. I might have been from that. That's what I instantly assumed. I really hope there wasn't just some Chevy pickup truck that was like, yeah, I gotta dump some deer carcasses into landfill.
It's just 24 fucking deer carcasses in the landfill.
Dude just must have had a hell of a Thanksgiving of deer.
Well, just deer. Well, you could tell them the good thing. You got some nice customers.
Yeah. So I've already been warned before I was even done training that around Christmas time, a lot of the customers get very generous, and so there was one time I snapped Derek and my wife. I used Snapchat to send Derek and my wife a message, and it was it was just like a smile cry emoji where I was like, the customers had a little Christmas card duct taped inside their lid with a $50 bill attached to it, and it said "Merry Christmas to you and your loved ones, love," and then it said their names, because that's the names that are on the route sheet. So I was like, oh, that was nice of them. And then they must have been gone for they must go somewhere else for the winter, or down south with family or something, I imagine, or just somewhere in the United States for the holidays, because I actually drove by their house today because they're on the route today, and yeah, they didn't have a can out, so they must be gone.
They died.
Thank you for serving us. Blech. But
that shouldn't be something I joke about, but that was kind of fun.
But and then yesterday I was dumping this Potato Farms dumpster, but they switched it out to a front load, so I don't have to dump it. So I pull up to the driveway, I see it's a front load, I'm like, okay, and I instantly get turned around, I pull out down this long driveway, some white Toyota van pulls up next to me, or stops in front of me. I thought she was just pulling over to let me drive by because she was kind of hogging the road. But she gets out of the car, walks up to my window. I roll down my window. I'm like, hey, how you doing? She's like, all good. She goes, this is for you. Thank you so much. God bless you. She gives me a $25 bill. And I'm like, oh, thank you. I do appreciate it. Merry Christmas to you as well. And then I drive off. And then only 2 hours later, I go to another house, almost done with the route by this point, and this guy was working out in his garage, and he must have saw me open their trash can, and it had a little baggie of cookies, and that they made, and it had a $22 worth of money inside of it, with a Christmas card as well. And the guy's walking into his house, and he goes, "Hey, Merry Christmas, man." I'm like, "Oh, thanks, you too." He goes, "Yup." And as I thought about it, though, after I tried them, they were decent. They're a little dry because they were sitting outside for a little while, I imagine, but they're still fine. I still have a couple of them downstairs. but then I got to thinking, I was like, it's pretty brave to assume that I didn't have a peanut allergy. They assumed that I didn't have a peanut allergy. There was peanut butter in one of the cookies, is why I say something.
Well, I'm sure that if someone did have a peanut allergy and they looked at the cookies, they probably just went, "Aw, nuts, there's a peanut butter cookie in here."
Aw, nuts. Badoomts.
We're on a roll today, woo!
I know. Anyways,
But
should I do my rant?
Yeah, really quick.
Alright, so let me just start off by saying,
Just sum it all up.
If you guys don't know already, if you can't assume from what you've heard, I work for a waste disposal company, okay? And if you guys have big garbage cans, actually, let me rephrase, if you guys just have garbage cans in general, and if you overfill it and like abuse the rule that they give you to, like, that's your garbage can, put trash in it and they'll dump it. If you guys abuse the rule to where you just actually fill it to the fucking brim full of loose garbage, 80 pounds of fucking cat litter, if the garbage can is sagging on the bottom of the can and it's dragging on the ground to the point where you can't tilt it and use the wheels, it's a little heavy. And if you're going to struggle pulling it down your driveway or whatever, guess what? I'm going to have to be the guy that picks it up and dumps it by hand. We don't have automatic fucking trash trucks. I mean, we do, but I don't. People who get out of the truck and dump it still exist, so we don't all, it's not just, it's not one of those jobs where you're like, no, they sit on their ass all day and they all have to do is use a mechanical fucking button and it dumps it for them. No. If I have to get out of the truck and drag the garbage can because it won't tilt, because it's that fucking heavy with dead center weight, first off, fuck you. If you're gonna have troubles moving it and grabbing it yourself, I'm gonna have even more troubles doing it and grabbing it myself, because for one, if you leave it outside too when it gets full of fucking rainwater and shit, you're a scumbag. Don't fucking let it sit out in the rain, because I have to pick it up, and when I tilt it up to fucking dump it, I get splashed with that water, just so you know. And then I have I call it poo water. Covered all over my work clothes. And that's another thing. I have a lot of customers that have a lot of cat litter in their trash cans, and they will abuse the fucking rule that Republic, that's who I work for. You can complain about me, I don't care. If that's where this, if I have anyone who listens and has them as a company, I guess. If you use those blue 95-gallon tote cans and you fill it to the fucking brim of loose fast food and cat litter and all that shit, for one, you're lazy, because it's always just fast food. And then the occasional trash bag, you barely tie the trash bag and you just throw it in. And then when I go to grab it,
What the fuck was that?
It all just falls in, because they act like using a garbage bag is so hard or something, because they just throw it in there and it's not even tied, it's just full of loose shit and it's not even full. And then as soon as I grab it, one, it either rips because they use cheap garbage bags, or two, it just all falls out because they didn't even tie it. So I'm like, of course, now all the loose shit's gonna sit there at the bottom, and I won't grab it. I'll let it sit at the bottom, because I'm like, I'm not picking your 95-gallon, 90-pound tote off the ground to heave ho into the back of the truck. It ain't fucking happening.
Yeah.
That's my rant. That's why when you snapped me earlier and I was like, I mean, I'm not mad at you, but I am annoyed, and that's why. Because there was like 4 customers in a row where that was it. That was the situation. And there's some customers who abuse it, and they'll just set out literally 6 garbage cans. 6! Full of garbage. And I don't even care to say it. I kick the garbage cans over. After I dump them, I'm like, here, have your fucking garbage can back. And I fucking kick it over. And I'm like, if there's any loose shit or water in it, I let it all just splash on their driveway or on the yard.
Nice. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Well, it's like, fuck, dude. I'm not paid to suffer.
No, I get you. It's just funny that you're just like, fuck!
It's fucking stupid.
Kicking your fucking trash can over, you stupid piece of shit.
Well, I hope it breaks.
I hope it breaks.
No, for some reason, there's just a couple customers today who set out, like, and I'm not even exaggerating. Sometimes it's 5. If it's even 5 or more, first off, that's shitty. But, they'll set out 5 to 10 fucking cans of garbage. And then they only put 1 bag of trash in, 3 of them. And I'm like, what the fuck was even the point in that? People don't use their fucking brain.
Yeah.
They literally throw it in there and they go, hey, my problem, I don't have to dump it.
Well, more importantly, how the fuck does one family go through 5 cans of
That's
trash?
what I'm saying as well. And how many
That
cats
doesn't
do
make
they
any
have?
fucking sense. They save it all up. They save it through the whole week.
Dude, I dump my cat's cat litter twice a week, and it's in a Walmart sack. Twice a week. What? How many fucking cats do they have? I have 3, and that suffices.
I get you, man. I do it once a week, and I got 2.
Yeah, they fill up. They literally put it in okay. First off, when you buy a thing of cat litter, it's already heavy on its own, replace your cat litter at Walmart or something. They'll reuse that and put the dirty cat litter in that.
Oh. No, that's
so then
gross.
and sometimes I'll pick it up and it fucking snaps. Because they overfill the bitch to 90 fucking pounds in a little tiny cardboard box the size of my arm.
Just use a fucking Walmart bag like everyone else.
Yeah, but when they
It's
do
not that hard.
when they do the Walmart sack thing, they'll throw 30 fucking bags of Walmart sacks full of cat litter, and that's their trash for the week. Just that.
That's a problem.
And it's just so fucking heavy, dude. It's so heavy.
You know what's heavy? Some Christmas stories. Are you done with your rant?
Yeah, I'm done. That's for anyone who's out there listening. I hope you gathered some information from that. I'm considerate if they're considerate. If they literally have 2 cans sitting outside and it's only 1 bag or 2 bags of trash sitting in each one of them, I can handle that because I can grab that with my hands and throw it right in and I'm done. It takes 20 seconds for me to get out of the truck, toss it, and get back in. It takes me even longer when they have heavy ass shit, and it's a bunch of heavy ass shit. But then either way, what I was saying was if they're considerate in that, I'll nicely flip their cans over to let them know they've been dumped, and I won't let their lids blow away in the wind or anything like that. But if they piss me off, they're gonna know it.
Good.
All right.
And for all you inconsiderate fucks out there, you could still have a Merry Christmas. But fuck you.
Word.
All right. Christmas stories. I'll start since you just went on your little rant. We'll give the people some time away from your voice for a second.
Yeah, that's fine.
Spice things up. So I figured that me and Trey would sit down and tell a couple of Christmas stories, and then we'd go on our merry way. Quimus. So I figured I would start with my most memorable Christmas story, and it's like every other little gamer boy's little story. Every year you go to the mall and you sit on Santa's lap and you go, I want toys. And he says, okay, you can have some toys, and then you wake up on Christmas and it's not the toys you asked for, and you're like, Jesus Christ, Santa, how the fuck could you fuck it up this much, But then, you get a little older and you realize that Santa's just Walmart and Kmart at the time. So my little head was like, I want video games because my friend, or not my friends, but my brothers play video games and I think that's fun.
Yeah.
So for Santa that year, even though I knew that he wasn't a real man, I said, Santa, I want Xbox. He said, okay, I'll get you an Xbox, right? And I didn't think anything of it, still being a little 7-year-old boy.
Yeah.
Or however old I was when Guitar Hero came out, or Rock Band came out. That's
That was
so anyways,
2000. Yeah, 2000. I don't know when Rock Band came out. I thought that was
2006.
I thought it was 2011.
No.
And I say that because
way
Guitar
earlier.
Hero was I favorited that over Rock Band.
Okay, well I always favored Rock Band over Guitar Hero. See how we differ, but we come together. It's cool.
Yes.
Anyways, so
Yeah.
I woke up to Christmas morning, and I said, "Oh, I really hope I got an Xbox," and my little pea brain. I didn't even ask for games. I just asked for the Xbox.
Oh Jesus.
So
Yeah.
So I start opening presents, and I'm like, ooh, socks. Ooh, some pants. A toy. And then they're like, Mom and Dad's like, now Derek, there's one more box. I'm like, oh, one more present? They're like, yeah, one more present. I'm like, okay. They said, let me go get it. I sat on the couch, bated breath, waiting. And here comes this huge box with bated breath.
What the fuck is
No,
that?
anticipation.
Oh.
Anticipation.
Yeah.
And here comes this huge box. And I went, oh, is that the Xbox? But this box was way too big to be an Xbox, right? They're like, all right, open it. I went, okay. And so I started opening it. And then it was a big old cardboard box with no labels on it or nothing. Just a regular cardboard box.
Yeah.
And I went, oh no, it's not an Xbox. And I was so sad. And I was so sad. But then I opened. They said, open the box. I said, okay.
Open the cardboard.
So I opened the box.
The big cardboard box.
Yeah, they said, open that big cardboard box. I went, okay. So, and then I opened it. And not only was there an Xbox 360 in there, but there was the entire set of the original Rock Band. And I went, oh my god, it's more than I asked for. Thank you. And I cried.
Aww.
Because I had the guitar, the bass, the drums,
Damn.
the mic. I was like, oh my god, this is a miracle.
Nice.
So to go off that, just a little bit more.
Yeah.
So, 6 months go by. And I'm playing Rock Band. And the Xbox gives me the Nightmare. Which everyone knows what the Nightmare is.
Oh.
The Red Ring of Death.
Yeah.
And I, at the
What
time, had
gen?
no idea
What
what
gen
it
was it?
I don't know, like I said, it was like 2006, 2007, so like one of the first.
Was it white?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. Keep going.
So I got the Red Ring of Death, and I'm like, Dad, it's broken. He went, what? He's pissed. You just spent all this money on this fucking Xbox less than a year ago. So next thing I know,
What?
I hear the fucking... We had this landline phone, and I hear my dad hitting the
Jesus.
buttons on the landline phone. I said, who are you calling? He said, don't worry about it. I hear it ring. And it's my brother. He said, Drew, get the fuck over here. I need you to help me with this Xbox. I don't know, like a few hours go by. Andrew's like, I don't know if I can do anything with this. He starts fiddling with it. And all of a sudden it starts working again. We're like, yes. Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
A couple more days go by.
Oh, Jesus.
Within the course of the next week, I had 8 red rings of death.
What? No, they say when you get the Red Ring of Death, that's like a death sentence. Like, your Xbox is not supposed to work after that.
Yeah, but sometimes you get lucky enough where it'll
so
start working
the
again.
fact that it worked 7 more times?
Yeah. That isn't that fucking nuts? Only me. I would get fucking 8 rings
You guys
of death.
were fucking zombie round reviving that Xbox.
Dog. That Xbox went through the 7 circles of hell and then some. Like, oh my god.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Keep going.
So eventually it stopped working after the 8th time entirely, and I said, no more Xbox.
Oh, gee.
And I was just starting to play Lego Batman.
Oh, which one?
And I was like, no, the first one.
Damn,
was like,
you know what I played that on?
No more
You know what I played that
Xbox.
on?
The PS2. Another
Yeah,
week.
PS2. Yeah, no, I played it on PS2.
Okay. So I was at the part where you're fighting Scarecrow.
Yeah.
At the plane. Yeah, and that's when it happened again. I was like, no more Xbox. I didn't even get to complete the game. And I started crying.
Yeah.
And I didn't get another console for another 4 years, so I just was left on a cliffhanger for 4 years.
You could YouTube it.
Not at the time. YouTube was still in its infancy.
Yeah. No, YouTube was still pretty young at the time, so I don't even know if they would have had walkthrough. Oh, Jesus, Dory. Didn't even know if they still would have had walkthroughs for that yet. But,
The only thing I knew how to do on a computer at the time, being 7, was to
Porn.
change the wallpaper.
Oh.
No,
Damn,
not porn.
I didn't know how to do that. I didn't know how to do that.
Oh.
Well, in 2006 or 7, we still had a dinosaur of a desktop computer sitting in our kitchen.
Oh yeah, Windows Home Entertainment Media Edition, Windows XP, baby.
Yeah, that's pretty sure. Yeah, it's probably Windows XP.
Bought that shit from CVS for like $600. And it ran literally so slow.
I mean, it was
Internet
slow,
Explorer
but
took
it's
2 minutes to boot up.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was slow, but it worked smoothly.
All right, Tway. Into a Christmas story.
I was trying to think of what you said. So I will start off by saying with what you just said. I have never gotten a console from a Christmas.
Really?
Yeah, everything I had was hand-me-down.
That's wild.
So, like, I got into gaming because when I was, like, 4 or 5, we were playing Super Mario on the Nintendo. Or, like, I think it was a Nintendo 64 or whatever one was after that. Oh, NES.
Whatever was after
either the NES or the Nintendo 64.
Are you asking what was after the Nintendo 64?
No, I couldn't remember what it was called.
Oh.
But it was either the Nintendo Entertainment System or it was the Nintendo 64. Either way, I know they both had Mario and Duck Hunt on it, if whatever one it was.
Oh, then it was definitely probably the NES.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, I never had I'm just trying to reiterate on what you had said before I get into mine. No, like, I did, my brother got an Xbox for Christmas, I think. And then a few years later, it was the white one. A few years later, I somehow conned my mom and my brother to let me have it in my room. And, yeah, that's partially why my brother would give me so much shit all the time and probably bully me, but, anyways, it was the first gen Xbox like you had talked about, and you couldn't have Wi-Fi on it. Like, I don't know how old you had to be for that or what kind of Xbox was that old, but you couldn't get Wi-Fi on it.
Yeah, you had to buy the internet plug-in or whatever that goes on the back.
Either the internet plug-in or you had to have the Ethernet cable.
Yeah.
So, after that Xbox, eventually I would switch between that and a PlayStation 2. And then after that, eventually the same thing would happen where my brother got the new Xbox 360, and a few years later I'd con them into letting me have it in my room, and it was the black chrome one.
Yep.
So that's the one I had for the longest time until I got a PlayStation 4 in November of 2015.
Gotcha.
Wow, and only 5 years later is when the PlayStation 5 came out. That is wild.
Yeah, but you were already in almost 3 years into the cycle.
Yeah, I know. That's also... yeah, it's because times are so different now, obviously, compared to then, but at that time... Dory, stop. At that time... Sorry, my cat's up here fucking with stuff. You could still have... Most of what PlayStation 4 had, you could still play on the Xbox 360.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not like that now. A lot of stuff has only been sent out for the PlayStation 5. Or computer. Or just next gen in general. Anyways, alright. Christmas story time. What do I want to start with? This isn't more of a story, but it's Christmas traditions. Did your family have any traditions that would happen on Christmas Day or whenever you had Christmas with your parents? Were there any sort of traditions that would take place?
The literal only thing we have ever done for Christmas that's a quote-unquote tradition is that the kids, which is me and my brothers, would just open one present on Christmas Eve.
Oh, I mean, okay. I didn't do that.
That's the only thing we ever did, and then Christmas was just, okay, you open presents in the morning? Alright, we just hang out all day.
Yeah. What about, did you guys have anything specific on TV?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, every Christmas, I don't know why this became like the natural born tradition, but my dad would always have a Christmas story that played 24/7 on Christmas Day.
I wouldn't play 24/7, but it's not a bad movie.
No, it would literally be on all day as we're all hanging out, opening presents, eating food at my parents' house. It was just on all day.
I feel like you're getting pretty tired of that.
No, I don't think. The past few years we haven't done that. I don't think. But like,
or it's just so caked in your head that you just don't even recognize it anymore.
Or that, and then obviously we'd switch between that or like a Christmas Vacation or National Lampoon's Christmas. Why is the floor wet, Todd?
I don't know.
It's so funny. So I never actually watched that movie fully through until like a few weeks ago, and
yeah,
it's underrated, man.
Yeah, it's a good one, man.
It's not a bad movie, but stupid shit like that has me cracking up. I don't know, Margot. Anyways,
give me a Christmas story.
Every year every year when we would have Christmas at my grandma's house, whether or not there's been a couple times where like we'd have Christmas on Christmas Eve at my grandma's, or it'd be Christmas Day, or it'd be like a day or two before the New Year, because when we're in school we'd have like December 18th till like January 7th off.
Yep.
So we'd always sometimes there's been Christmases that we had Christmas at my grandma's on like right before the New Year. Either way, for the longest time, from when I was like 10 years old till I was like 17 or 18, she would get me and like 4 other guys that are a part of the family, the what are they called? The gift boxes of Axe.
Yep.
Oh God, I still have some. I still have some of it.
Oh, I know you do. When I moved you had like 6 fucking bottles of it.
We've gotten rid of a lot of them, at least. Not like
gotcha.
I've used some and I've given some to people who want them. Sorry, Grandma.
Sorry, Grandma.
But then, like, I think...
God damn it, Grandma, stop giving me so much soap.
I think the last year she did it, I'm like, if you're going to do it again, can you please just do Old Spice instead?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
And, so, alright, that wasn't really a story, but that's, yeah. My grandma would always get us some boxes of Axe, and I'd have it for, like, the next 5 years. Because
damn.
Yeah, I just can't go through that much Axe in that fast of a time, I guess.
Take a shower, you fucking gross
I take one every day, every night.
Well, apparently not, 'cause you can't go through Axe.
I don't use a fucking, like, viscous amounts.
Viscous, he's just pouring it in his hand like it's... oh, it's corn syrup. He's just pouring it in his hand.
So when you said earlier that you found out Santa was Kmart or Walmart, so funny story of how I found out that Santa was real. Sorry, kids who are listening. Unfortunately,
tons of kids crying right now.
Santa isn't real, or at least, if there is some greater being that delivers presents, it's not what you think.
It ain't him.
It's something else. There's something more going on here. Anyways, so when I was like 5, we would when I was like 5, it would have, I think it was like, I don't know if it was Christmas Eve. Well, it had to have been Christmas Eve. Jesus Christ. It was like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. My parents would have already been up, probably baking stuff and getting gifts ready to put under the tree, right?
Yep.
And I think I got up to go to the bathroom. I don't know why my parents didn't like expect this or plan for this, but I went up to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, or early in the morning to say the latest. And so the way my parents' house was set up.
Yeah, it's just one big hallway, like mine used to be.
So, well, it's not a big hallway, but a hallway.
You know what I mean? It's all.
I'm in my room. I'm walking out of my room to go to the bathroom, but as soon as I walk out of my room and open the door to go to my bathroom, my parents are sitting right there at the counter wrapping gifts.
And they said, "Try going to fuck the bed."
No, they didn't freak out. They both just kind of looked at me and they kept doing their thing.
You don't see anything.
I don't know if they tried to act like I was dreaming or didn't care or what, but I was like, huh. Interesting. I don't think I said anything either. I think I just kind of looked at them, went to the bathroom, and went back to bed.
How old were you?
Like 5.
If you would have said, "Mom, Dad, what are you doing?" They would have said, "Shh, you're dreaming." You would have been like, "Oh, okay."
No. I think I was like, oh. I mean, I think it must have been. I wonder if at some point before that it was already ruined for me. Probably would have been my brothers or something saying some stupid shit. But not that I care that it was ruined for me. But I wonder if at some point before that point, it was ruined for me, because you would think, being a 5-year-old, it would have been like, I would have been like, oh my god, what? But I think in the back of my head, at that time, I already knew that he wasn't real.
Oh, you just wanted to believe.
I was like,
that kid on the Polar Express.
I was like, oh, maybe he is, maybe he isn't. And then that night, I found out.
You sure as fuck did find out. I should have known a lot earlier, because my parents were like, "What do you want for Christmas this year?" And I'd be like, "I don't know."
Well,
and they go, well, here's this Kmart ad. Circle what you want to tell Santa you want. I go,
Nice.
oh, okay.
No, there'd be times. I think as I got older, though, I love the fact of like Black Friday shopping and then actually looking for stuff for people or just looking at stuff that I'd want. And my mom would be like, "Here, go to Walmart's website and look at all the stuff they have for their video game deals." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And that's when I was like 15, dude.
Damn. Okay. I'll tell this story and then we can start to wrap. So when I was 14, I obviously at this point knew that Santa wasn't real. If you still think Santa's real at 14, you have a problem.
Okay.
This is like the last big Christmas that I had from my parents, and it was more of a me and my dad gift. It wasn't really just for me, but I woke up that morning and we opened gifts or whatnot. It was pretty laid back Christmas, just some small things here and there. I was like, all right, cool. I'm a big kid now. We don't get big gifts anymore. And my dad, we were in the kitchen and we were making a breakfast casserole. And my dad's like, hey, we need some milk. Do you want to run to Casey's with me? And I'm like, yeah, sure.
What time of day was this?
And I don't know, like 11.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And my mom's like, yeah, I'll go too. And I knew something was up because my mom never wants to go to the store at all, right? And I was like, okay, why are all three of us going to the store? And so the Casey's is across the street from a storage shed, like a storage complex.
Yeah, I remember.
And we pulled in, and I was like, what are we doing at Dad's storage shed? And they're like, hold on. Your dad's like, hold on, come help me get some out of here real quick. I was like, oh, okay. And we open the door, and there's a four-wheeler. And you know which four-wheeler I'm talking about. It's that blue one.
Oh, the one that me and Logan and you rode on?
Yeah, that we were fucking jumping.
Damn, that thing lasted that long?
Yeah, it's still alive.
That's crazy. I mean, I guess
still have it.
I guess just like a vehicle, if you maintain it and take care of it, it'll be all right.
Yeah.
Anyways, what?
So now here's the thing. This is where it gets wild. So he's like, "Merry Christmas," and it was just a big bow on. I was like, "Oh my god!" And we've talked about this before. Me and you have a very hard way of showing emotion, especially when someone gives us something.
Yeah.
So
no.
I was ecstatic, but all I could say was, "Thank you."
Yeah. Yeah. No. Me and you are still like that. Yeah.
I think we're autistic or something. I think it's an autistic trait. I don't know, but.
No, I think it's like
you want to drive it home.
Well, we actually cry over being sad or like something like that, but we don't cry over excitement.
Yeah, it's just like thank you.
But I will say, with the customers giving me the tips they've been giving me, it made me a little emotional. I will say that.
Oh, I bet.
Anyways, keep going.
So he's like, you wanna ride it home? I was like, yeah. And so
in December?
Home, right? Yeah, there was snow on the ground. It was fun.
Yeah.
And so anyways, so we get it back home, and we ate our breakfast casserole, and then my brother Bob came over.
He's like, oh shit, you got the four-wheeler.
Yeah, we're all hanging out, right? And Dad's like, hey, it's snowing outside. You know what'd be really fun? I was like, what's that, Dad?
Putting a sled on the back of that four-wheeler.
If we go down to the athletic field and we drive the four-wheeler around the snow, and I'm like, oh, that sounds awesome. So we go outside.
You said like Jack Black. Right. That sounds awesome.
He's like, all right, I'm gonna run it down there and make sure there's no like holes in the ground or anything we're gonna fall in, and I'll be right back. I was like, okay. So here goes my dad. He's standing up on it, trying to do a wheelie down the street.
Jesus.
And like 10 minutes later, he come back. Me and Bob are standing there talking. He's like, all right, here you go. And I was like, oh, hooray! And so I got on it, and he's like, all right, now you go slow. I was like, oh, okay. So I went slow down the street. And mind you, the athletic field was like a block away.
Yeah.
And so I went really slow. And mind you, it's snowing, so you can't see the athletic field from the house, even though it's a block away.
Was it like,
so
was it like a whiteout?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So when I got to the athletic field, I let that bitch rip. I was like, yes, this is my first time in my life that I get to go fast and no one gets to tell me otherwise, right?
Oh,
so I'm fucking screaming down this field, right? And so on this athletic field, there's a baseball field.
Yeah.
And for the outfield, there's a chain link fence on it that wraps around the outside of it, right?
Yeah.
I was like, what would be really cool? I'm sitting there in the snow idling. I'm like, I've always wanted to drift. I love drifting. And so I was like, all right, we're gonna drift the four-wheeler. especially because there's snow out. So I fucking gun it, and I'm going. I'm like, all right, we're gonna drift. And so I turn left to go right, and it flipped over.
Yeah.
And so
you're lucky you didn't dislocate your knee or something.
Oh, I flew under that thing, and I tried to grab the snow, and I kind of tumbled with it, and that bitch flipped like 3 or 4 times. And when it landed, it had enough momentum to keep going forward, and it crashed right into that chain link fence.
I guess better than a tree.
And I just sat there on my knees.
Fuck.
In awe. Jaw agape, and I went, I broke it. Fucking, because you know, it killed switch itself, because it flipped.
Yeah, I guess that's good.
And I went, I broke it. I've had it for 1 day, and I broke it.
I've had it for 4 hours, and I broke it.
So I walked over to it, and I pulled the handlebars out of the chain link fence. I was like, all right, this is going to start. And it started. And so I drove it fast as fuck all the way home. I went, okay, I'm done for the day. He's like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah. And Bob's like, oh, I want to ride it. And we're like, okay. So Bob went down there.
Sees your fucking tracks.
He didn't. If he did, he didn't say anything.
Oh.
And he came back. He's like, my dad's like, all right, I want one more ride on it. And Bob's like, okay. So me and Bob are standing out in the driveway. All right, we're going inside. This guy's taking a while. You know, because he took longer than last time.
Yeah.
And he come inside and he said, Derek, I'm so, it's fine, but I'm so sorry, but I flipped it. Oh. I went, Dad, it's okay. I promise it's okay. I'm sure it's fine. And then after that, it was just a pretty light Christmas from then on.
I was gonna say, I wonder if he saw the fucking tracks and he was wondering why was there like 8-foot gaps between each track.
Well, he did it himself. Yeah, I love you, Dad, but fuck him.
Did you ever have any Christmases where family members would get jealous of other family members based on the gifts they got?
No, because we only do Christmas with me, my parents, and then sometimes Bob and his kids.
Yeah.
And then Drew comes over later. But no, it's usually just always me and my mom and dad.
So, I love my family. And you haven't met this family member that I'm going to be talking about, but there's an aunt and uncle who comes to my Christmases. And there was one year where my parents bought my grandparents a new flat screen TV to put in their living room, because at the time they still had an older box TV in their living room.
Mm-hmm.
So, my parents bought them like you know the flat screen I have, or I used to have for my PlayStation, the little small one.
Yep.
They bought a flat screen like that to put in my grandparents' living room, and they were ecstatic because they're like, "Oh my god, a new TV!" You know, because they're not used to flat screens only being like $70 like they are now.
Yeah.
Like for small ones. So, yeah. My parents bought them one, and my uncle, I don't know if he was jealous or what. I'm not gonna say which uncle, but I'm not. He must have been jealous or something, because he kept making comments to my parents like, "It's not gonna work with that HDMI setup they have. It's not gonna work with the sound system they have set up." So my parents are just like, "Will you stop? We'll get them what they need to get to make the everything work right."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I always feel.
Wasn't it?
Huh?
I thought that was a story where the next year someone got him like a MacBook or something.
A MacBook?
Or is that a different story? Didn't a family member of yours try to one up another one? I thought that was the case.
If there was, I don't remember what story that was.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
It
now.
sounds like something that would have happened.
I thought that was a story you told me a while ago, but maybe it was just something I thought of in my head. Anyways, carry on.
I always feel like it's kind of guilty. I mean, like I said, it's a thing with feeling excited, like how we have a bad time at showing excitement. But
yep.
When you give, like, yeah, when we go all out on one person for Christmas or something just because we felt like it, and we give them that gift that we went all out on, I always feel super uncomfortable when we give it to them and they're like, "Oh my god, thank you," and everyone in the room is just being quiet. Like they're not happy for them either. They're just kind of watching like, "Oh, cool."
Yeah, I think that's why I don't like Christmas as much as any other holiday, because Christmas kind of sometimes just feels awkward.
Yeah.
'Cause you're just getting
Like,
gifts
oh,
for
these people have a bunch of fucking money.
Yeah, and it's just like...
I mean, maybe this is what you're thinking of. So there was one year where I think we got my mom something for her computer set up, and then come to find out, I think, if this was what you're thinking of, I could be completely wrong, and I could be just like blowing smoke. My brother got my mom a whole ass MacBook desktop. Not that that's a bad thing, because she still uses it and has it now.
That's what it was.
I don't know what we got her, and I don't even know if it was for her laptop. I just remember that we got her someone got her something really cool, and my brother's like, it wasn't brand new, it was used. He used to have a MacBook. It was his MacBook's desktop, but he factory reset it and gave it to my mom for Christmas.
Yeah, that's what it was. Because I remember you telling me. Oh, oops, I set the mic. I remember you telling me there was a time where someone got your mom or someone in your family something for their computer, and then your brother was like, "Oh, I got you a new computer." I remember that now. Yep, that's what it was. Wow, Christmas is such a fun time, isn't it?
It's a weird
Oh
time.
boy.
And then I think
That's a
there's
really
also,
weird
to
time.
add on to that, I think there was even a time where we got my parents something for their flat screen TV, and my brother was like, or someone, it might not even been my brother, someone was like, oh, I got you like a big sound bar for this TV. And we're like, oh, perfect. I mean, I guess that works out well.
Yeah, it's fun how that sometimes happens, because the one year we got my grandma a TV,
Yeah.
and then without prompt or being told, one of my mom's sisters was like, "Oh, I got you a soundbar for your TV," just like what you just said, and we're like, "Oh, fuck yeah, that's awesome. That's how this works, baby."
Yeah. When you were talking about playing out in the snow with your four-wheeler and stuff, before I would decide not to keep going outside during cold months because I just hated it, and I just hate it now. When I was younger, I'd go outside during when there's lots of snow on the ground, and after the plows would come through where my parents live, there'd be snow mounds on the side of the road, and I'd fucking climb them bitches, and I'd just yeet myself off the top of it.
Oh, we used to make fort. Well, we used to dig into them and make forts out of
Oh
it.
yeah, we did that too. It was mostly
Yeah,
me and Trace that would do that. Sort of
Oh,
thing.
gotcha. See, so because I live in a small town, all the kids know each other, right?
We'd make
So after a big snow, they pile all the snow up and we'll leave it with this story. We'll call it quits. They used to pile all the snow on the roads from town into a really big pile at the grade school parking lot,
Yeah.
and that bitch would sit like 15 feet high.
Yeah, and
it
it'd
was
be there.
tall.
It'd be there from like December to March.
It'd be there till about mid-spring.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
And so once that was all compiled, we'd walk up there as a town, and we would just make a huge ass fort out of it. And then sometimes you get lucky, and the formation was just right where you could pack it down and make a slide on the fort.
Oh yeah.
So like I had a snowboard at one point. We took the snowboard down it, and then while we're taking the snowboard down, there's someone inside of it carving away to make a hole so you could sit in it. Just good times like that. And because of that, oh sorry, but I noticed that we don't get snow like that anymore. Not like at that level. Not
No,
like
I feel
we
like
used to.
this ain't even me trying to be funny and like meme on it, but they say like people argue that like global warming isn't a thing. I'm not saying it is either. I don't know if it is or not, but yeah, I feel like snowfall and like how we used to celebrate with snow on the ground just isn't the same. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because like the whole the whole tablet kid generation or what. I don't know, but yeah, no, there'd be like kids that would like if they'd make the nicest snowball forts. Like it'd be like storming the beaches of Normandy with some of the forts that kids would make with snowballs.
Oh hell yeah, man!
And like yeah, I'm pretty sure I reenacted. Have you ever seen the movie Glory?
Yep.
Yeah, we've like reenacted that entire battle.
Snow.
Yeah, it was
That's
snow.
some
Like
funny
I
shit.
tried to storm up the fucking snow hill, and they're all sitting there at the top with little like, they'd scoop out just like parts of the snow to make like a bowl and just fill it with fucking snowballs. And I'd storm up that hill and get pelted with snowballs, and I was Matthew Broderick in that movie, and I'd just fall down to my death after getting pelted with snowballs.
Nice. Yeah, we used to we were dickheads. We used to put ice in the middle of our snowballs.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, my brother would do shit like that and like just toss it in my eye. Yeah.
Jesus.
You know, that's part of the reason I think I have a lazy eye. I've taken icy snowballs to my eyes. I've taken a bullwhip to my eye.
It's only lazy when you're concentrating.
Yeah, it's only lazy if I'm like staring at something for long enough. Otherwise, if I actually like blink and like I can like, this is gonna sound weird, use my eye muscle.
Yeah.
Like I have to physically.
My eye muscle.
Well, when you have you don't understand because you obviously don't have a lazy eye. But like, yeah, if I'm focusing on something for so long, my eye will go lazy. But if I actually like concentrate with that eye and like focus on using that eye, I can get it back to its normal shape.
That's wild.
Or normal gaze, rather.
Man, that's wild. I didn't even know you could use your eye muscle, quote unquote.
Yeah, when you have a lazy eye, I don't know what the science is. Something snaps, and you have to like.
There's an unlock.
Yeah, you have to like put your eye into manual mode.
That's wild, dude.
Yeah.
All right, we'll leave it there. All right, so thank you for listening to the Christmas/holiday special, the Break Room Podcast. We really do appreciate you guys listening, especially during the holiday season. You know, it's busy and whatnot, so we really do appreciate it. Follow us on Spotify. You know, we want everyone to be there, even though we have a YouTube channel and stuff. It's where our main audience is, so you know, it's where we would like everyone to congregate. And if you have any thoughts and opinions on the show, please feel free to answer the Q&A at the bottom of the episode. I promise you we will read it. I know we've said that like 3 times already, but I promise you we will read every single one.
Yes.
And our emails on our YouTube channel. If you'd like to email us instead so it's not in public, that is completely fine. I promise you I'll read it. I have it on my phone now, so whenever I get something, I'll read it right away. Stuff like that. Anything you'd like to add, Trey?
Yes, please let us know. I know Derek knows what I'll be talking about. We already have someone who listens who's been private messaging us both, letting us know what he thinks of the episodes and how far he's gotten and what he likes, what topics he enjoys listening to. So we appreciate him. Yeah, thank you guys for
Very
listening.
much.
Have a happy holidays, and just to let you guys know ahead of time so you don't think you're missing out or having a fear of missing out or FOMO. Next week there will not be an episode. Am I correct?
Yes. Okay, so that's what I'm going to touch on, and then I promise we're done. Next week there is no episode due to it being 2 days before Christmas when we would usually record. And then after that, we actually I bought a whiteboard like I said during the podcast review, and we have ideas and episode schedules now. So me and Trey, this will probably be the last time you see me and Trey talk nonsense, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
We actually have ideas and timestamps on the board and what we're going to talk about and topics. I'm very excited. So if you want to see a more formulated thing, sorry.
No, you're fine.
Go.
The cool thing about that is though too that if we, you know, with having timestamps and what topics we want to talk about, if we run over or don't quite get to the topics we want to talk about, we're okay. It's perfectly fine to have overflow where we can eventually on the next episode talk about that topic that we didn't quite get to.
Yeah, because I have it scheduled out all the way to the end of January already. Yeah. So if we don't get to one topic, all we got to do is just set it down one more week and we're good, man. So if you want to see a more formulated show, please feel free to listen in a 2 weeks time. We will be on the ball. We may not be 100%, but we're going to try to be on that fucking ball, man. I promise. But thank you for listening, you guys. Have a great holiday season, and we will talk to you guys in 2 weeks.
Thank
Goodbye.
you guys. Have a happy holiday and a happy new year. Goodbye.